Hello, everybody, and I just want to first make an apology that I haven't been super active on the channel in June. It's been a pretty busy month, and I've also scheduling my trip to Europe. So it's been very hectic and with a lot of projects and a lot of things going on. So I just apologize to everybody that I haven't been super active on the channel this month. I will be in the next couple of weeks, so definitely stay tuned. So this video is going to be about Pinterest SEO. And I've had a few requests about this one, and I've spoken to a few people. And hey, there is a lot to talk about when it comes to Pinterest SEO and how this can and will affect your SEO strategy throughout 2021 and ongoing. So before we jump into Pinterest, I just want to make a note here for any of you guys watching this video. SEO is a multidimensional game, and there isn't one perfect rule. There isn't one perfect way. There isn't like a magic hack or a secret key to unlocking your SEO success. Now, there are fundamental core things you have to do, and you have to do right to begin your journey and discover your unique pathway for developing organic visibility. Now, I often encourage people to go deep and find something that they are good at, if it be their content, if it being their PR, their news, social media, LinkedIn, YouTube, wherever they feel comfortable in, they develop a good content stream and you might say, give everything they have into that and optimize it and develop it and become a ninja, become a master at that. Now, you can't obviously do everything in SEO. SEO is very wide, it's very broad. The importance is understanding the fundamentals, which is what I try to talk about here on the channel. And today we are going to be talking about Pinterest SEO and how this is going to affect your SEO strategy in this year. So let's get into it. So should Pinterest be part of an SEO strategy? Now, my immediate answer is yes. If your website has infographics, if you do have social media presence on Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, then Pinterest is like it's a must, because if you're producing unique infographics, unique vectors, unique content, you can be sharing this at literally a click, 2 clicks on another social media profile that can be picked up, that can be found, that will give you organic visibility and definitely will contribute to your SEO goals. So Pinterest has like 150 plus million users and literally billions of monthly searches. People go to Pinterest for visual inspiration. They find great graphics, they find great content, they share it, they use it in their platforms, their marketing stack, and hey, that is the community, and that is really what SEO is all about. It's about sharing value and, of course, getting exposure. Now, if your goal isn't sharing value, then SEO clearly isn't for you. This is about mutual benefit, and that is exactly how Google wants the SEO to go, and why SEO is such a fundamental road for your success if you're about producing content and sharing it with your community and building an audience. So how do you build an SEO strategy including Pinterest? So first of all, you're going to need to have content that you can share. So if you have infographics, if you have images, if you have vectors, videos, whatever it is, share them. And this is going to be, I would say, primarily start from your blog, start from your articles, your white sheets, wherever you've got your content on your website. There is a possibility for you to embed a code either in your WordPress or if you're in your custom built website, where you can actually create a button that will share that link directly into Pinterest. Now, the other option is you just add the share button and toggle it in the website, and people can reshare the image from any of their social media platforms, and that will share the link that can be a Pinterest link where your photo is now, or your infographic or whatever your content is there, or they can be sharing the image from your website. So how does this really contribute to your immediate SEO gains? Well, first of all, the image that you're going to be that's going to be embedded into Pinterest, that ideally is going to be on your website, is going to have a direct backlink to the article. So, for example, if you're in the game of, let's say, consulting for software companies, right? Let's say you're a financial advisor and you have a blog, and in that blog you're talking about the importance of bootstrap companies overcoming, I don't know, let's say process management and leadership to get funding and XYZ. And you do a really nice article with a bunch of really good infographics, a great video, and you go and promote that content. You share it on your social, and it gets some impressions, gets some engagement. And you know what? The title of that blog can be on the infographic on Pinterest. So if somebody makes a search and is relevant to that image, yes, it will get picked up by the SEO, or the internal SEO of Pinterest, and then somebody can very easily get redirected back to your website. Now, that's not just the goal, right? It's not just, hey, you want to get people back to the website or that article. It's more about the authority. And obviously, you're not just your DA, like your technical DA, but also the authority that your website is starting to gain and traction in as you build up your organic visibility using Pinterest SEO. So how do you actually get started just with Pinterest setting up and the technical side to it? So first of all, you need a business account, and to create a Pinterest business account, you'll definitely need to be signed in with your existing user. You can choose to upgrade your existing Pinterest account to a business profile, or you can create like a new business account. Okay, preferably use the email address that you're going to be receiving the notifications and the content and what's going on the website. So once you've got your business account set up, this is a little bit like Instagram or YouTube or any of these business profiles. You really need to make sure your account is really, really nice and clean, great bio, and of course, do all of the branding that you need to do to make it consistent along the board with all of your other social credentials. So it's really important that your account setup is done well. So you can go through some helpful checklists on account setup, but the ideal account is going to really mimic what your YouTube account looks like, what your Instagram looks like, what your LinkedIn looks like, and provide that consistency across the board. So the next most important thing is, how do you organize your pins? Now, we spoke about briefly before about creating like a plugin in WordPress that's going to help you upload those pins automatically to Pinterest. That is one way, right? But there's another way which is really cool as well. So what you're going to do is you're going to create boards. And in those boards are literally going to be like your content clusters. And inside those content clusters, you are going to reshare the images that you're talking about on your website. And the ideal thing with your boards or your content clusters is that you're not just going to be sharing the images inside the content clusters that are going to be relevant, but you're going to start optimizing the boards for keywords. It's very simple. So if you're going to be talking about, for example, business consulting for software companies going through Series A investment, that could be a topic, right? And inside that topic, you could have like multiple different articles you've created on your blog, and now you've got all those infographics that you've spent money and resources creating. You now go and download them, and you start uploading them to that board with the right keywords and definitely the right descriptions. And of course, in those individual images, you're going to link back to your article that you created in the first place that you want to start building up authority in. So remember, keywords in your board, in your keywords in your pins, and definitely if you're going to create like that environment, that ecosystem of SEO inside Pinterest, you're going to want to optimize for the keywords, because that way, of course, you're going to get picked up in results, and hopefully people re-engage back with your blog, or most importantly, start building up an authority with your brand. So remember, your keywords for your board are going to be super important. Make that interesting, make them people want to engage. Again, make them topical authority of what you're an authority or an expert in. And this reminds me, when you're thinking about creating content on Pinterest, remember that the same principle applies to your blog or to your website. Consistency is key. There's no point in just, once a year downloading all your images, uploading them to the board, and then just calling it a day. No, like you want to add this to your content schedule, your content calendar, your checklist, and then day in, day out, or week in, week out, as you upload articles, you just add this to your task list, or whoever's managing your content, to upload the images and link back, create the right descriptions inside the boards, inside the pins, and link back to your website. It might sound like really complicated, guys, but this is just a bunch of processes put together and back to back. This will definitely contribute to your SEO. I can guarantee you that it will contribute to your authority goals, your SEO goals, and your visibility goals. So I hope this video was helpful. And if you guys are still watching, please hit me a subscribe, hit me a like. I'm starting my channel from zero, and every little bit of engagement means a lot to me. And if you want me to record any videos about a specific topic inside SEO or PPC, just hit me a message, put it in the comments, and I'll definitely get back to you. Thank you.